Go ahead and say all of that wild shit online, man. You might need a Dr. Phil if you catch me outside. And I will not apologize if you ain't one of mine, fam. I cannot afford to give a fuck if it was finance.
Everything woke turns to shit.
And all right, everybody, welcome to the, what is this, third episode now? Of Fact You, a show that could give a fact. I'm one of your hosts, Ray Asian Jr. With me, as always, is my good buddy, Jason McMurray. Say something, Jason.
What's up?
What's up? All righty, well, here we are, peeps. I'm going to try to get this situated. You like my new flags, everybody? I hope you like them. I got another one way over there, but you can't really see it, but that's okay. Anyhow, I thought we'd get started tonight. We got some good things. A lot of serious bullish has been going on around the world in the last week or two. I don't know, Jason, what do you want to kick us off with? Do you want to kick us off with the $1 trillion coin?
Yeah, I think we should talk about the $1 trillion coin, dude.
Let's get talking on this $1 trillion coin.
You talk about a golden freaking ticket. Holy crap. This is exactly where Joe Biden says that it'll cost us zero, because they just meant they haven't done it yet, but they're going to mint a $1 trillion coin, dude. A $1 trillion coin, people. You ever heard of pulling money out of your ass? That's exactly what Joe Biden's doing right now with the help of all the Democrats. This is going to affect our children and our children's children. This is going to oh my gosh, $1 trillion, Raymond.
Are you for it or against it, brother?
Oh, yeah, I'm for it. Can I have one too?
I don't know how I feel about it, dude. I think it's kind of silly because you can't. Why can't I just make this $1 trillion then? You know what I'm saying? It needs to be worth $1 trillion. There needs to be goods behind that coin to support it, to make it worth that $1 trillion. I don't see this as. I mean, it's basically just funny money, in my opinion. I mean, not to mention, I lose coins. You know how much? You imagine if I dug around your couch and found $1 trillion coin?
Well, you know? They say they're going to mint it and take it directly and deposit it into the Federal Reserve. Mm-hmm. So they're making $1 trillion without doing anything.
Yeah, I don't know if it really works like that. So
I could do that too, and I think your potato chip is worth $1 trillion.
Right? So I just watched this video on this very same topic, and I'll splice it in, part of it in right here, and I'll link it in the description or whatever. But this guy's talking about how basically what they do is they print this coin. So the Secretary of the Treasury, the way it's written in is kind of worded funny, but they can create any coin they want. As long as it's made out of platinum, they can deem it any value they want. And, I mean, it was supposed to be used for, like, commemorative coins and things like that. But the way it's worded, you can make any coin. And so now they're talking about doing, and once it would get put into the Treasury, it would bring the deficit down, the debt down $1 trillion, which would give us room to play. And then in the future, when we get out of it and we're not so close, they can just like, I can't remember how you worded that, like dissolve it, and basically it just goes away. And, you know, it was like it was never really even there. And I don't know. I just think it sounds great. It sounds wonderful, but I don't think it quite works like that personally. I don't think you can just make a coin and say it's worth $1 trillion.
That's not how economics work, bro.
No.
And I'm going to pull up something real quick just to,
all right.
Let's see here. Inflation in Venezuela. Holy. Okay, so this is according to Hanky, Venezuela's inflation rate on the 31st of 2018. So this was a few years ago. This is an old one. 9,279%. I think it's down now to a meager 2,000. Oh yeah, 2021. TradingEconomics.com says that it's down to 2,719.5%, which is great because it was 9,040.8% last quarter. Now, this is exactly what's going to happen to our freaking our dollar. Our dollar.
Oh yeah, dude, it's gonna be a horrible when it comes to inflation. Yes, so Venezuela inflation. Jesus.
So that's what's going to happen if they meant that. I should say when they mint that coin. Your dollar, okay, so
It's gonna be worth nothing.
Imagine a gallon of milk costs $4 right now. If they do this, a gallon of milk is going to cost like $50,000. It's going to cost so much that it'll be cheaper for you to take your money and feed it to a cow instead of hay.
Hay will be more expensive than money.
Exactly. It's crazy, man. And anyways, so yeah, it's a really big deal, dude. I mean, it's not going to happen instantly. It's something that degrades, like goes. It's you and I won't feel it, Ray, but our children, they'll feel it a little bit, but their children are going to feel it, and if it doesn't happen sooner, and this is just freaking outrageous, man. $1 trillion coin. You could hold $1 trillion in your pocket. Did you know? You know what,
Dude?
I
You better not have a hole in your pocket. No, it's ridiculous. It blows my mind that people think that you can just print money and it's going to be valuable, and then you can use that to buy off debt. You're creating more debt by creating. You might as well use monopoly money. It's about as valuable. Okay, yeah, I take that back. It'll be printed on a platinum coin, so it will have some value, but it's going to be worth whatever that amount of weight in platinum is worth. That is it. You know. I mean, unless you have $1 trillion that you're of gold or platinum or whatever that you're saying this coin represents, you know what I'm saying? You can't just print money off. I mean, that's what they do in communist countries. They just print money off, and socialist countries, and it completely drives the value of the dollar down, or of their dollar.
So yeah. I just want to put it in perspective for people. Let's see, how long does it take to count to 1 trillion? 1 billion, 9 zeros, is being reached fast. I don't know. Hold on.
How long would it take to count to 1 trillion? 542,241 years. I just searched it. It's right here. I got the link. If this continues to hold up to 1 trillion, then we estimate to count to 1 trillion that would take about trillion would take about times as long as, wow, this thing's not even written properly, as if you were to count one number per second. That is, we estimated it would take approximately 241 years to count to 1 trillion.
And we're how many trillion in debt?
I think.
Dude, people don't understand how much a
U.S.
trillion,
national debt?
how much is $1 trillion is, man. People just don't
No.
understand. And
Well,
I can't believe anybody's swallowing this that Biden's putting down, saying, well, 5.3 trillion equals zero. What is that? What is that?
yeah, they were saying if you were spending money, how'd they word it, dude? It's like you're buying it with money that's already spent, so you don't actually spend anything. And that doesn't make any sense to me at all either. How the hell did they word that?
It's already paid for. Dude, they're lying. They're lying.
100%.
They're lying.
U.S. national.
I think we're at 23 trillion.
I think you're right about that. Yeah,
23,
about 23.
24, somewhere around there. $1 trillion.
Trillion. Yeah.
Now,
and wait, national debt clock. What is the national debt right now? The
national debt clock is like how much you and your kids owe and shit every minute.
That's crazy. This thing right here says the 28 trillion gross federal debt equals debt held by the public plus debt held by the federal trust. So, as people and the government, we owe 28 trillion.
To who?
I don't know. Let's click on it. See what this says. What is this link I'm even looking at, though, actually? Peter G. Peterson Foundation. Oh, my God. It's literally got a counter on it. I'm watching it go up right now. I'm watching all of our debt go up right now.
Yeah, but who do we owe that money to is what I'm asking.
Each business day, the U.S. Treasury Department reports an amount of debt outstanding at the end of the previous business day. 28 trillion gross federal. The 28 trillion gross federal debt equals debt held by the public plus the debt held by the federal trust funds and other government accounts. In very basic terms, this can be thought of as debt that the government owes to others plus debt it owes to itself. Why is the national debt so high? America's growing debt is a result of simple math. Each year there is a mismatch between spending and revenues. Well, that makes sense. Okay. Like, perfect example is all these trust bonds that they give out. Oh, here's $100. You give me this bond, and I promise I'll give you a little bit more and a little bit more. But you know what? They sell out thousands and millions of these things that they can't even pay it back. You know what I'm saying? That extra 10% you're going to get adds up if you do it to every single person.
Well, what the problem therein lies that they take that money that they first of all, the government does not make anything. They don't produce anything. So they take that money that they steal for these to put out these bonds, and once they get all the money from everybody, they mysteriously go somewhere else, is what happens like 80% of the time. So I would never, ever, ever buy a bond unless it was backed by gold or silver. No.
Yeah, for sure. This thing I was watching earlier was saying how, like, the president signs off, okay, this is what the national debt ceiling is going to be. We're going to spend this much this year. And as if they don't get to it or whatever, and they need more money, like, they go to taxes. That's how they get the money. The taxes and different things like that. Well, if they don't get enough money in taxes in a few of the avenues to generate the, let's say, $50 billion that he wants to spend, then they use things like the trust bonds. They sell you a trust bond for $100 with the promise to give you $150 next year, and they get an extra $100. And they do that a couple, 100,000 times. Boom, you make up your money. But it becomes pointless when it's just stacking up, because we didn't start the country out owing 28 trillion. We didn't even start out. We didn't even start out owing 15 trillion. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure we started out owing like 0.
Yeah, and actually, that number has increased exponentially with the last 6 administrations, whether you be Republican or Democrat, because there hasn't been no libertarians or anything like that in the office. You know, it keeps recently it keeps spiking, and every time it spikes, it's sharper. Some people call this the ratchet down effect. Once you give them some leverage, it's going to keep they're not going to let back. You know, they're just waiting for the next reason, and it ratchets down a little bit more, and then the next reason, and it ratchets down a little bit more. And today we find ourselves where we're at. You know, it's just freaking crazy.
Well, I just searched who does America owe its national debt to.
Yeah.
And who owns the national debt? The biggest owner is not foreign entities, but U.S. taxpayers. This is according to thebalance.com. I'm not really sure about them. I've never heard of them, but thebalance.com, a U.S. economy fiscal policy. Here we go. According to this thing, here's a little graph, a little bar graph that's got set up. Social Security's is about 2.91 trillion. Well, we owe more than that, I guess. I thought we owed 28. Office and personal retail, personal management retirement is 920 billion. Military retirement, 916 billion, and Medicare, 230 billion. The U.S. debt reached a high of 28 trillion as of March 21. Most headlines focus on how much the United States owes China, one of the largest foreign owners. What many people don't know is that Social Security trust funds, also known as retirement money, owns most of the national debt. How does that work, and what does it mean? Oh yeah, well, Social Security's going bankrupt.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's good.
Oh yeah.
It just like the freaking the teachers union out here in California. Yeah, by the time anybody's able to cash in on that sort of pension, it's gonna be legs up. You know.
Oh, for sure. Alrighty. So anyway, the U.S. debt reached 28 trillion. Okay. Yep. Most headlines focus on how much the United States owes China, one of the largest foreign owners. What people in Social Security. Okay. The U.S. Treasury manages the U.S. debt through its bureaus and public department. The debt falls into 2 categories: intergovernmental holdings and debt held by the public. Breaking down the national debt, total 28 trillion. International or intergovernmental holdings is 22%. Debt held by the public, 78%. So according to this thing, everything that China and whoever else owns only makes up 22% of our total debt, and 78% of it is the people.
Well, wait a minute. What is the definition of the people?
Social Security, retirement, military fund retirement, all that stuff.
Well, they like to call that entitlements, but that's not actually what it is. That's freaking what people paid into, what people signed up for.
Yeah.
So I think that's a different category.
Well, no, it's all listed. Like, just one here's got it broken down too. Intergovernmental holdings, which is between governments, and then debt held by public. And then we scroll down here a little bit farther. What's this? Intergovernmental debt. The Treasury owns this part of the debt to other federal agencies. In February 21, intergovernmental holdings totaled more than $6 trillion. Why would this government owe money to itself? Some agencies. Wait.
Hold on a minute.
No, hold on. I could have swore it said it was in between other governments. Now why is it talking about owing it to itself?
Yeah.
I thought it said intergovernmental was in between various governments, not within itself. That makes okay. Apparently, I just completely read that wrong. Now I can't even find where it was. Okay. I guess I'm just not reading it. I was assuming it wrong or something. The Treasury owns this part of the debt to other federal agencies. So intergovernmental debt is just what it owes. The government owes itself within
No,
itself.
that's what.
Yeah, that's exactly how this first thing reads. The Treasury. This is about intergovernmental debt. The Treasury owes this part of the debt to other federal agencies. That's the very first sentence. Period.
So that's like all. Hey, I know. That's like me talking to myself. Hey, I know I owe you money, but
Yeah, exactly.
I'm
That's
gonna give you some money, and then you give me some of that money.
yeah.
All right, bro. All right, bro. I owe you $10, but my mom's gonna give me fucking $20, and I'll give you that $10 back, and then we'll take this other $10 and be cool, right? No.
Yeah, yeah. It's like what the CIA owes the FBI.
That's the funniest
You
thing I
know?
can say right
Yeah.
there. That won the fucking internet, right? Oh, damn.
Okay, let's see here. Why would the government owe itself money? Some agencies like Social Security trust funds take in more revenue from taxes than they need. Rather than stick this cash under a giant mattress, these agencies invest in U.S. treasuries. So, Social Security tax that we pay takes in more than they need. So instead of like saying, "Hey, we took more than we needed," we're gonna and give it back. We'll just invest it over here in other shit. It's funny. It's funny how if you don't give them enough money by accident, or they forgot to charge you to enough, oh my God, they're coming. But if they take a little too much,
Oh, sorry. Yeah. You know, that's a whole nother rabbit hole, bro. So
uh,
I think we're getting about to the end of that string. Let's move on.
yeah. I suggest people look into this. This article will be in the description below or wherever I have to put it on Rumble and stuff.
I sent
Thebalance.com.
you link. I sent you links for my points.
All right, I'll throw those in there too for sure. I think we should move on because we need to get going. You're right. Let's go ahead and jump into this very next thing that I think is very important. It's right at home, and it's directly in correlation with a lot of problems we're having in America, whether it's due to the people getting sick with COVID, taxpaying dollars, positions in schools for students, money, help for people. But it's just this huge border crisis that was instituted by Biden. Basically, he's telling everyone, "Hey, we won't prosecute. We won't just come. We're not going to bust you." That's what he said. Like, did he go, "Come on over, open border"? No, but he straight up told everyone, "We're not going to prosecute you." That is an open invitation. That created this. Go on. You got anything you want to say before we get into? I keep going into more stuff.
Yeah, I just want to say that actually, he didn't institute it. He kind of did the opposite of it. He actually
Tore it down.
one of that big old stack of executive orders that he was boasting about
Oh, you mean like the 50-something executive orders he signed?
when he took office. Yes, quite a few of them were taking away uh, uh, things that the previous administration had put in place to
Yeah.
keep illegal immigration at bay. And just for an example, I can't remember, I can't cite the exact thing, but there was Guatemala, El Salvador, Mexico, not Venezuela. Everybody there in Central America, they all agreed to this. Honduras, that they would hold anybody seeking asylum in Mexico. I mean, I'm sorry, in
Mm-hmm.
America at their and there was a law passed. It was actually legislated here, and the executive order, it wouldn't pass, so the executive order went in place. Biden undid all this stuff. We weren't having this problem for 2 years ago.
Yeah,
You
no.
know?
What Trump did is he made it where people seeking asylum, refugees, anything like that, they were held in Mexico until deemed to come across.
Or whatever
And,
country they came in from.
or
If they came in
whatever.
from,
Exactly.
if they came into Honduras, they came from Honduras into Mexico. But yeah. If they said they were going to the United States, they were held.
Yeah.
And Biden, that was one of Biden's first executive orders. He said, "Nope, not going to do that."
Did you ever hear the clip of Biden before he ever became president? Or former VP Joe Biden, as I like to call him, because that's probably the last actual official job he actually ever got.
That's being generous.
Right. But anyway, there's a clip of him talking about only dictators rule through executive orders.
The one thing that I have this strange notion, we are a democracy. Some of my Republican friends and some of my Democratic friends even occasionally say, well, if you can't get the votes by executive order, you're going to do something. Things you can't do by executive order unless you're a dictator. We're a democracy. We need consensus.
Yeah.
Or something along them lines. And here he goes. Within the first, month? He signs 50-something executive orders. First couple days.
Yeah, it was first week and a half, yeah.
Who has issued the most executive orders? Oh, Franklin Roosevelt issued the most, 3,522.
Teddy didn't fuck around, bro.
Yeah, he wasn't playing with it.
Wasn't he a Democrat? He was like an old school Democrat, I think.
I'm not sure. Let's take a look real quick.
I'm not sure either, dude. Oh, we got to fact check that. You want it? All right.
Democratic Party.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, he was. That is a fact confirmed. Democratic Party.
Anywho, let's talk about Taiwan, dude.
Well, we didn't really touch base on the border too much. We just got into it. And
right.
I mean, if you want to, but I do want to get in Taiwan because that is very serious, But I do want to mention about the Hondurans, It's silly because everyone wants to talk about these Hondurans. They're just trying to seek asylum. Well, you know what? They didn't come from Honduras to the border. How did they get from Honduras to 100 miles east into fucking Texas, or west into Texas? It's like. No, they came here, went through multiple countries in Mexico, probably had been living in Mexico for the past 4 or 5 years already. You know what I'm saying? That's not how asylum works. You don't get to do that.
Well, it's not just Hondurans though, dude.
No, it's not.
There's a lot of Haitians.
Oh, that's what I meant. I'm sorry, I didn't mean Hondurans. I take that back to all the Hondurans out there. Haitians. The Haitians are the ones I was talking about.
Yeah, those motherfuckers coming up here like there's no tomorrow.
Yeah, that's what I meant. But I mean, there are Hondurans, of course. But yes, it's silly. It's like I understand that Haiti is quite
It's a shithole, as Trump put it.
But you don't get to just like I said, you don't get to just once you leave the place of your persecution and you land in another land, guess what? You've got your refuge. You've sought your asylum. It's over. You don't get to just go well, you know what? I don't like this apartment. I'm going to move down the street because there's a nicer apartment now and just take that one over. That's not quite how it works. You got this one for free already,
Oh, no. These fuckers think they get everything for free, dude. Yeah. And, I haven't talked to one personally, but from what I've seen, that's the vibe I get. As far as other illegals, Mexicans are fucking cool, dude. They're like, oh, hey, whatever, man. I'm just trying to make a couple dollars, unless they're like MS-13 or something. But yeah, most Mexicans are like, oh, yeah, whatever, dude.
Yeah,
but these fucking Haitians are like, "Oh, pay me $15 or I will kill you."
Right? And they will. They'll cut you. They cut off people's heads for like normal.
Yeah.
Over there. like the normal thing they do, you know. But you're right, you know. I know a lot of illegals, and fuck Napa Valley, and I worked in restaurants my whole life, and a lot of them are really, really cool people. But I still also, you know, I mean, it's like I don't think it's quite right or fair. Like it blows my mind that people, you know, I don't know how to word it without coming off and sound like a total asshole racist right now.
You know,
You know?
if you think about it, it's all about borders, bro. I mean,
No, you're right. And if we got rid of the welfare state and de-incentivized people coming here, you wouldn't have to worry about it. True. But until that happens,
and you just be like, "Oh, this Latinx X person is my friend."
you know, yeah, you know. But I mean, you have the right to protect your property, and you have the right to tell people to stay off it. You know, I believe in that 100%. And if you're just flooding in here, and I mean, what was it? I don't want to quote the wrong number. I'm hoping I can find it. I mean, there's already been reports. There's multiple of the Afghan refugees and multiple of the Haitian refugees. Here's one about the Afghans right here. Raping people already. They're over here and they're raping people. And I know that there's bad people in all groups and all societies, but Afghanistan is a true rape culture. Like, it actually exists. Like, in America, this rape culture, like they like to say, it doesn't exist here in America. Because there is nowhere where you're like, where they go, hey, good job for rape. You know? That doesn't happen here. In prison, we stab you for rape. Like, it's not even permitted amongst the bad guys in this country. So this fact that there's a rape culture is bullshit. Now, you go over to these other places where rape's a normal thing. It's a way of showing dominance and taking over, and you rape the women, and they still do that shit. Like, that's a real rape culture. And yeah, there are reports of refugees doing this stuff as they come over, and it's like
they do that shit. It's natural. It's just as natural as you putting milk in your cereal to them. It's not, to them, it's not a rape culture. It's their culture, and therein lies the paradigm. You know, and it's a specific people that we're talking about. As somebody that follows the Judeo-Christian path, I don't think rape is okay.
no.
However, there are religions that teach that rape isn't rape. It's not quite as simple as no means yes, but it basically is if your parents said it's okay. And if they like goats, you know, so
Okay.
if you want to rape goats and shit, I can't remember where the hell I was, to be honest with you.
So as Judeo-Christian, you are against rape, which we both agree are. I'm against rape too. However, and then we cut out.
However, that's mysterious, isn't it? However, I understand that there are other religions that not only sanction it, they promote it. And,
yes.
The paradigm of what rape really is really rests in a society. And you could call it archaic or demonic or whatever you like, whatever bottle you want to put it into. There are religions that are actually almost as large, if not larger, than other religions that promote hebephilia, child brides, genital mutilation, and not only that, just basic freaking disregard for the women.
Oh, dude, over in Afghan, like, okay, Muslim faith is the largest growing religion in the world, and I think it might be the largest religion in the world. And I actually did a little bit of studying of it when I was locked up. I studied Christianity, studied, wow, I'm drawing a blank right now, Islam. There's a lot of things that they do that is just not okay. Like, they were just over there throwing acid on a girl's face for trying to go to school. Did you remember hearing about that one?
Oh, yeah.
And, like,
acid attacks are very common, actually,
yeah,
in Muslim communities.
If you're openly gay, they're throwing you off roofs over there. You know what I'm saying?
The women,
it's a bunch of BS, dude.
Girls, women aren't allowed to go to school.
No, not at all. Yeah, they just got done painting over all the women's murals and stuff. Like, if you had a painting, if you were on a building, they were painting over that. Yeah, the women can't go to school, they can't work. One girl tried to go to school. I'll see if I can find the article and link in the description. And they threw acid. Like, dude, it's so horrible.
I really fail to understand why, like, all these LGBTQ people can get behind this whole Zionist trip. Sorry, I swear it again.
It's all right.
And they support this stuff where these people throw homosexuals off of the tallest building in the city.
Well, the problem is they don't know. They're dumb. People don't learn. People don't realize. People don't look into things. They just just listen to what they're told and they believe it. As long as it's a reliable source to them, as long as it's somebody they love and trust, they'll believe whatever they say regardless. It doesn't matter. You can tell them that poop is chocolate and they'll at least take a bite even if it smells like shit, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, I mean, I don't want to get too much. We can do an episode on that if you want.
No, not
the Muslim
tonight.
faith. But yeah,
we keep on going down that tube.
Muhammad was not a good dude. He married a child at 6 when he was 54. Started sleeping with her when she was 9.
These are all facts, folks.
These are all facts. He was previously married to a Christian woman. That's where he got the Muslim faith. I mean, he gets visions from Michael the Archangel. Like, come on, dude.
Didn't he get claimed to be raped by a demon in a cave at one point?
I think he did, yes. I'm not sure on that one. I have to look at that. But anyway, we could discuss Muhammad at one time if you want. We'll do a little.
All right, let's go on.
But let's move on because something that's very serious. Yeah, do you want to go ahead? You already asked once earlier, and it's very serious because it has ramifications around the whole world. But China is really trying to throw its weight around right now because it knows that it's got a weak president over here that's not going to do nothing and supports them. I mean, for 40 years, Biden's been trying to convince us that China's the good guys and we want a healthy, strong China. No, we don't. But China's trying to reunify and take over Taiwan. And it's making open threats to attack Taiwan. And the Taiwan, I don't know if it's prime minister, president, whatever they're called. Did you see his video just earlier? He was like pleading, begging anyone, us, please help. Because Taiwan's just this little place right here, you know? It is China. Yeah.
Well, the thing about Taiwan is that it's a strategical place.
Yes.
It's right there in the is it the South China Sea, I believe. They now I was just looking. I'm trying to dig harder. There are multiple fleets in the South China Sea right now. American, British, New Zealand, and Japan, and yep, I think Australia's in there too.
Oh yeah, Australia for sure.
So, you know, the Western world's rattling their sabers right now on that. But what the bigger picture to me looks like is like it's China. Do you know how many people China has? if China wanted to, they could just like be like, "Oh, hey, everybody from this province go that way with a gun and a sword."
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. You know what? Okay, what they did is they sent 150 military flights into Taiwan airspace. They're flying
Yes.
out. They're poking. They're
Yep.
testing. And see
Yep.
what it is Taiwan used to be part of China. I think it was part of Japan at one time too. But anyway, it's been on its own for a while now. But China wants it back. If you want to get technical, China wants to. I'm going to go ahead and say something too. Part of what I'm going to say in here, I'll wait till we get to it. Okay, I'll wait till I get to the point because there's this new segment I want to introduce, but I'm going to get to it in a minute. But anyway,
all that
China
reminds,
wants.
all that
go ahead.
reminds me of Taiwan Rock.
Wait,
You know what
Taiwan
else?
Rock? I don't think I do. Hold on.
Yeah, check it out. Taiwan Rock.
Stupid link.
Public
Okay.
of China.
Uh,
Dude, back in like the 80s and early 90s, Taiwan Rock.
oh, the music.
No,
No.
ROC stands for Republic of China.
Oh, ROC Rock. Okay, I'm literally spelling rock.
ROC. Taiwan Rock.
Taiwan, officially the Republic of China, is a country of East Asia. It shares maritime borders with the People's Republic of China to the northwest, Japan to the northeast, and the Philippines to the south. The main island of Taiwan has a area of it's Taiwan. Yeah, okay, I get what you're saying. What was I saying though? Yeah. Oh, so anyway, China, who is actually bent on world domination, they want to take over the world, and anyone who disagrees with that really hasn't been paying attention. But they want Taiwan back, and so they keep talking about this peaceful unification. Or not peaceful, but the reunification of China, and it's crazy. There's a video of them talking, and they're straight up saying like, we don't want any violence, but we will use violence, and they're talking to Japan in this other video, talking about how if you interfere, because Japan's like, hey, we're not gonna just sit here and stand by as you take over Taiwan, because what people don't realize too is if China takes back Taiwan, they will control the entire world's electronics. Like a lot of stuff's made right there in China, and then a lot of the microprocessors that are used in almost everything are made in Taiwan. And if they take that over, dude, it's like it's gonna be bad. And then it's just if you look at a map, it's a hop skip. They go from right there right to Japan. They can go right into Australia, New Guinea, Papua New Guinea. Like they can take all those little islands over.
Well,
You know what I'm saying?
That's why Australia and New Zealand are fucking right up in the front of it.
Yeah.
You know, and
not
they're
sure.
actually technically they're both colonies of Britain, of New England, or the United Kingdom. I mean,
United Kingdom.
So they're like right up on top of this shit, and I think that is spot on. You know,
China threatens nuclear war. Here it is right here. This is from June of this year. So they're, but I mean, yeah, I've known they've been discussing it for a minute, but it's like, I just saw the video, so I think the video is from the other day where they straight up told Japan, like, hey, we will use nuclear bombs and we will keep using them, until you back up. And like, we can't let that happen. We can't let China get too much control and too much power. Like, you can't. They want to take over the world. They really do. And this, which brings me to a new segment that I've been wanting to introduce, and it's called Conspiracy Theory.
Oh shit!
This little thing is it's all conspiracy theories. Nothing I'm saying right now is really factually based. It's just based on facts.
It's all in our head.
Yeah, exactly. I believe that China is going to make a move on Taiwan, potentially Japan, before the Biden administration's over. Because they know that Biden not only loves them for some reason, is in their pocket, I guess, I don't know, but he's too weak and feebled and to do anything. I mean, the man just wants ice cream and to get his butt wiped, you know?
What must be what? What must be what? What must be what?
But I want my own ass! I want my own ass!
I know.
You saw that video, right? Where he comes out and he goes, my butt's been wiped. You're like, what, President?
Yeah.
Not you wiped your butt, but it's been wiped. Very nice. But anyway, yeah, I think conspiracy theory. China's going to bust their grape. They're going to make their move. Because they're already saying that they want to be reunified by, I think it's 2040 is what they're stating. A while ago they said this. But they're not going to want to, like, what happens if Trump gets back in office? He wouldn't let that shit slide. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, they don't want to deal with that. And you know that.
Yeah, you got to remember that fucking $28 trillion debt we got, So, especially with the scuttlebutt about the $1 trillion mint, it just, if that happens, China's gonna be like, oh well, fuck you, you owe us $50 trillion, and then it's oh my god, it's just gonna get outrageous, folks. And it just, with all this freaking negativity and all this anti-Americanism, I can't see how the fuck we're gonna get through this, man. I mean,
Do you think that this might be the start of World War III?
oh, I think it's already started. I think it started with the jab. I think that was the shot unheard around the world, to be honest.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's a chemical warfare. It's the beginning with Corona. I mean, I don't care. I mean, that was gain of function research funded by Fauci in a Wuhan lab, created virus. Do I think that it was released on purpose? No, I'm not necessarily willing to subscribe to that yet. But was it created there? Did someone get sick and go home and it spread? That version I will accept. The released on purpose thing, that I'm not so sure of. But then again, I can't really hold nothing past China because they openly commit or kill their own civilians. So I mean, and their own citizens. So I mean, anything's possible with them, right?
Well, they actually have concentration camps, but they call it something other. In Russia, they call it the Gulag, I believe.
Yeah.
But like, if you're under different faith, if you're the wrong religion, which under communism their religion is not allowed, or if you're
I think their religion
descendant-
is communism.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is spot on, dude. The
Yeah.
freaking that if you're a socialist, that's your religion.
Not much unlike Fauciism, which is the new American religion, I believe. Fauciism. I mean, you've seen his face on the prayer candles, haven't you?
No, I haven't seen that yet.
Oh, hold on. All right, go ahead. Go. What were you saying?
I haven't seen the faces on the candles yet, man.
No, what were you saying just before that? Before I cut you off, I'm sorry. I feel like a dick. Hold on. Images. Okay, here we go. Where Where's my JSON Messenger? Here, I need to go like that. And then, oh, actually, I need to go like this.
Are we talking about Taiwan?
The heck? You're not going to let me do it like that? Stinker? All right, so maybe I need to save it.
Are we talking about Taiwan?
Yeah, we still were, and then we're talking about communism and how it's the new religion, and then I said it's not unlike Fauciism, but I cut you off with that, and so I was just
All right.
saying,
Okay. Let me pick that fucking horse right up by the bridle. You know what? There's this thing called Social Security, right?
okay,
Now, some call it a entitlement, some call it this or that, but it's communism. If the government forces you to take money out of your paycheck,
right,
that's communism. And then they promise to give you. You know what? I've been a working man since I was 15 years old. All right.
right,
Now, if I had all with a few little sabbaticals here and there, I've pretty much been working since I was 15 years old. If I had all the money that just for Social Security,
I mean, yeah, I mean, let's do
and
a rough guess on that, because you're right, I agree 100%. And let's say what, like, on average, we'll say $200 a month, maybe. You know, which probably more than that, because you make more, but didn't always make more. So there was a time probably took less.
Put it on a percentage. So they take the more you make, the higher the percentage goes.
Of course,
by the way.
Of course.
But you say you're working at a restaurant, right? Make a minimum wage. They're taking 20%.
Oh, for sure.
Say 25 because of Obama. Now we have to pay for freaking healthcare, regardless of if we want to get it from them or not.
Okay.
So say 25% of 1 week, 40 hours a week, making $15 an hour.
All right, so $600 a week. So 25% of that would be $200.
Okay. So
$200 a week.
So multiply that the per week by 4, but 4 weeks in the month, right?
Well, 50 or 52 to get you a full year, right? Because there's 52 weeks in a year.
Yeah.
So that's $10,400 a year. And multiply that by what? You're 15 to now, so what? Almost 30 years. So if you want me to leave it at the full $600 a week, multiply that by 52 weeks. That's 31,200. So that's if you make 31,000 a year, and we'll say we multiply that by 30 years. That's just under $1 million, but 936,000. So let's say if they take 25% of that, that means they took $234,000 off you in that 30 years.
Not only that, that's not what you get on your return from Social Security. So if you would have what we just talked about, if that would be if you were able to take the money and invest it yourself or save it yourself. Now, save it yourself, I should say. So the government is taking that much money from you, but on your weekly payout, once you reach the age, you are not going to get that money back. So you figure I paid X amount into Social Security, right? And when you remove that much from your monthly income before you are drawing it, it seems kind of like a burden. And you're like, all right, that's fine. I'm gonna draw that money when I get older. I'm gonna get it all back. That's not what happens.
No, no, no. And what's another, you know, horrible part about it is then they take that money and they invest it into whatever they want. You know, the money that they're taking from us, I might not necessarily agree with you sending my tax dollars over to that. You know, like with the COVID relief, the first one, the first stimulus check. I sure as hell didn't agree with sending $10 million over to Pakistan for transgender studies. You know,
Yep.
I don't care about America doing transgender studies with all due respect. I mean, I don't mean to be rude about it. I mean, to each is their own, and you want to do whatever you want to do, but I don't feel like we should have to reinvent the wheel for 0.6% of the population. You
This is
know?
what our elective representatives do, you know,
Exactly.
and until people start standing up and putting their foot down and being like, oh, what the it's going to keep happening, dude. It's going to
You
keep
know,
happening over and over and over again. People that don't understand history are doomed to repeat it.
very true, very true. You know, and I'm glad that you said that because that leads right into the next thing I know you wanted to talk about. Um, but is all these parents who are now officially under attack and being berated by FBI and different things for standing up at their schools and telling these teachers and these politicians and all these people that no, we will not allow you to teach our children to hate themselves and that each other are different than, you know, critical race theory is a racist bunch of Marxist crap sent to divide and tear us apart and teach us that one person is better than another simply by their skin. That is 100% racism. And that is totally against what people like, I don't know, Martin Luther King said.
Maybe when
I
I
was
was a kid.
I was just trying to speak directly into the mic just so I made sure the people in the back could hear me clearly. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, everybody in Susoon, listen up. All
Yeah, right.
right.
But yeah, so it's like, okay, so as we know, here I found this article and there's just this one sentence right here. See if I can find it. That blew my. It's the opening paragraph, and it's from the Independent. I mean, I'm pretty sure that's garbage, right? Independent's not really good. I think it's a leftist leaning. But anyway, the way that this first paragraph is worded, it makes me think that anyway. The Justice Department is responding to a wave of angry protests as school boards across the country as education officials and teachers face the wrath of conservative parents opposed to the supposed teaching of critical race theory in parentheses and mass mandates. Okay, there is no supposed teaching of critical race theory. There is actual teaching of critical race theory, and we have countless stupid teachers talking about it on TikTok.
This is what's bullshit. Today is the first time our country has recognized Juneteenth. It's a national holiday, and yet I'm getting ready to go back to school in the fall, and my governor has put into place some ridiculous legislation that many governors across the country have put into place, such as I can't teach anything divisive, I can't teach critical race theory, I can't teach critical race theory, I can't teach critical race theory, and I can't teach about racial equity. This is at all public schools, colleges, and universities. So, teachers, in the past, we've been activists. After this shit show of last year, we really need to stand up and do what's right for our kids right now. So this is a call to action, teachers. We got to stand up and fight for our kids because this is bullshit.
You don't have to suppose it. They're out there. Just type up teacher talk
It's
about critical
actually
race theory.
happening. Yeah.
It's actually happening. Like, I get it. It used to be a theorized thing that was saved just for kind of universities and higher education learning and blah, blah, blah. Well, it ain't like that anymore. Those people have continued to teach it to others, and then more and more have taught it to younger, and now it's a part of the tool they're using to rewrite and re-indoctrinate and re-educate children. And it's a bunch of BS and garbage. And so parents have been going to school boards and standing up against it because I don't care white, black, or you shouldn't teach any child they're better than another child, and you shouldn't teach any child they're worse than another child simply by their skin color. I don't care, you know. America is not a racist country. Most of you have never experienced any form of racism. Most people on the streets who think they have never even experienced proper racism.
Well, not only that, we got to look into the sexualization of our children also,
Very
because
much, dude.
this is hand in hand. It's the same cabal as this other one, you know?
Did you see the thing where the lady goes to the school board and she's reading from a book she got at her elementary school kids' library,
I
the
can't
school
find-
library?
I've got too much shit other up. Oh, yes, I have seen that.
Where
That's-
it's talking about like oral sex on young boys performing oral sex on men, and
how to enjoy
how to
sex and shit.
how
Yes.
to masturbate and all kinds of, and this is in an elementary library, and there's multiple books like this. It ain't just the one. There's tons of books in this library like that.
Now, I don't know about you, but if I was like 8 years old, I would totally want to read about boners.
100%, totally. You know, like for sure. I think I was probably about 8 when I got busted stealing my dad's Playboys. You know,
That's what I'm saying. Man.
so I mean,
Bullshit.
let's see here. Mom exposes. It's funny. You got to try to figure out how to word things properly to find them if you don't really know where to go, right? Mom exposes.
Yeah, watch out. You'll end up on Pornhub.
You know, that happened last week when Morgan was on. Don't you remember me saying, oh my God, I was searching something and I straight up got a dude performing oral on another dude. You know, was what popped right up on my screen. And that's another thing. What happened? Like, okay, it used to annoy me when I was a kid. You had to like put in a credit card or some sort of form of ID or something just to get access to things. Kids don't need that anymore. Like, you can just type in blowjob and videos are coming right up. There's nothing preventing it from happening. And I mean,
2 girls, 1 cup.
I know.
That's all I gotta tell you.
And like
That
kids,
and blue waffle.
blue waffle's horrible. You know,
Kids search it on Google.
I've wanted to open a breakfast joint called Blue Waffle before. It's so blue. Just mix it with some blue food coloring and make blue waffle. Mom exposed pornographic books in school library. All. Furious mother exposes pedophilia in high school. Okay, I guess this was a high school one. But still, I don't care. Still. They're still children, and it's talking about pedophilia. Oh, yeah, this is that lady. Okay.
You know what pedophilia is, right?
Oh, yeah, dude. It's when an adult wants to have sex with a child. The author of two... Why are stupid pop-ups? The author of 2 books that Mother Stacy Langton said contained pedophilia have consented the accusation. Jonathan, whoever this guy is, Jonathan Evison, author of Lawn Boy, told the Washington Post that his book doesn't describe or contain pedophilia. He added to the paper that the excerpt getting attention in the news involves an adult recalling a sexual encounter he had with another 4th grader when he was... Oh, yeah, well, it doesn't matter. In the book, so even if it's not pedophilia... I remember her reading that one passage. It's talking about one 4th grader performing oral on another 4th grader, and it's like, why is this even a high school book? Even if it is, okay, even if we're going to condone, like, okay, let's pretend that performing oral is not a taboo topic for high school kids to read about. Shouldn't it be at least high school kids or maybe 2 adults in the book doing it? Why is it 2 4th graders doing it for 17-year-olds and 16-year-olds to read? That's weird in its own, you know? But it's still weird regardless. Like, no one should be reading about 4th graders doing it. That's child pornography in the written form. if nothing else.
I just want to know who the fuck can bust a nut in the 4th grade, dude. I didn't get mine out until I was like 13.
Well, okay, I can't remember his name.
That was like 8th grade, dude.
I can't remember his name, and I feel so stupid right now. But the guy that the modern sex education program.
I thought you were going to say the guy that gave you an orgasm.
No. The guy who basically started our sex ed program in schools to help begin with the sexualization of children. Okay, this guy was a straight up sicko. He did studies where he got pedophiles to basically rape babies with a stopwatch and time and mark down how many supposed orgasms these infants would have, because he wanted to prove that children could have orgasms even prior, to puberty or sex or, doing it ages or anything like that. Like talking about like
that's some dark shit, dude.
That's some dark shit, bro. That's some dark stuff. And this guy really did this stuff. And this is the man who formulated the modern or the book or whatever that sex education got derived from. That was taught to schools. That was taught to you and I in fucking middle school. It was all built from this guy's studies. And he's straight up. I mean, I don't know if he was a pedophile himself, but he hung out with and helped them, got them to do studies for him. And so it's sickening. And yeah, it has to do with wanting to sexualize the children. And I mean, this whole thing with letting them pick genders and stuff, like that's part of it. No, gender and sexuality are the same thing. Boys have a penis and girls have a vagina.
Boys have a penis, girls have a vagina.
Thanks for the tip.
And that's it. There's only 2 genders. I don't care if you want to think you're a pineapple.
I think the biggest thing we're missing right here is that boys want to put the penis in the vagina.
And you know what's silly? Like I try to explain to people, like, have you seen, excuse my language, I'm going to take that back so I can edit this easier. I've been trying to explain to people, have you seen man buttholes? I've seen a lot of them in prison, in showers and stuff, man, and they're all dark and hairy and horrible looking. There's no such thing as sexy naked man butthole. And so the fact that you can try to tell me that you're honestly more attracted to a dude's ass than a chick's, it blows my mind. But I mean, okay, whatever, to each their own. If you really are, you really are. But that's the thing.
I don't know. Most chicks got fucking.
We can hear you.
Assholes.
We can hear you. But
unless they bleach them fucking hairs, dude, it's like that's what I call it, a cornhole,
right? But no, see, that's the thing. Like, okay, I don't care if you're gay or straight or lesbian or whatever. Like, you want to. There's boys and there's girls, and you can like boys or you can like girls, and that's just, or you can like them both. That's just how it rolls. I don't really care. But to want to say that there's 900,000 different genders and every emotion is actually a gender, and we all have to subscribe to this, it's so confusing to children. Like I see these videos of this teacher, like, what do you do when your students ask you if you're non-binary or what? And then she goes, and then I tell them I'm a boy and a girl, or maybe I'm neither. You know how confusing that would be to a little kid who's trying to who only understands boys have a penis, girls have a vagina, like they don't get anything else, and they're just learning shit, and you tell them stuff like that. That's so crazy. But
I mean that kind of comes back to like sexualizing our children, and that's something that the state really, really pushes for. But
yeah,
that I don't think that children should learn about sex from anybody but their parents.
I agree with that.
And and the fact,
and at the ripe young age of 33.
Yeah, totally. But just the point that the state pushes it down our children's throat when they were. It started out like, let's see, what year is it? About 40 years ago, about 25, 35 years ago, and with sex ed. Oh, we're just going to teach the kids how their reproductive organs work. And now they're using the same premise to teach how you could be a boy, girl, boy, girl, boy, girl and shit. And
Yeah.
it's counterproductive. It's just like, I mean, people, they freaking, it's like these guys try to purposely countermine our society. I just don't get it.
Well, they're trying to destroy Western civilization in general, not just America, but anywhere else that's Western. Because okay, look, what people hate to admit is America came to the table last. We're the youngest nation. We've built the best nation. We're the most free. The most. If we're not the best nation and the most free and with the most privileges and everything, then why do people flood this place? They wouldn't be coming here. They'd be going wherever else was better. You know, and
Yeah.
I mean that's the proof in the pudding. And the problem is we're the only thing preventing the bad guys in the world. Yeah, I'm not saying America is Superman or anything. No, America's done some dirt, some bad things too. Don't get me wrong. But the only reason that China and Afghanistan haven't wiped out half the planet and blown everything apart is, well, because America's been around to poke its face in where it doesn't belong at times, you know, because things like you go, oh, well, that's between China and Taiwan. Well, do you have any idea what's going to happen? See, isn't it funny how women say they can do everything a man can do and we're equal until it comes to opening a jar? Jason? All right, we're going to go ahead and hop into our little special, the closing of the night, our great teabagging. And tonight we're teabagging, oh God, what's his name? I always butcher it, I know it, but the Xi Jinping.
Xi Jinping!
The supreme overlord, ruler, majesty of China, dude. The dude is just a douche, and he's a total murderer, and he kills his own people, and now he's threatening China. And he's threatening Japan with nukes, and you know he wants us, and it's just, I mean, the dude's a major douche, and honestly, like I said, I got a feeling that he's gonna bust a move, and I think, once again, conspiracy theory, I think that World War III's coming with this dude at the center of it, because he's gonna start something over there, and them little Australia and them are gonna put up a little fight, but they're not gonna be able to do nothing too much, and then we're gonna have to step in, or other people, and it's gonna start something that's gonna really blow up, because China's within the next 10 to 15 years, I'm telling you, is gonna be making a major push across this board, and so I mean, I think the dude's just, I mean. Next to Kim Jong-un, I mean, him and Un, I don't know, or Il, or whatever, Kim Jong-il, Un, I don't know which one, who's what. They're both a couple of, but yeah, the Xi Jinping guy.
You're talking about Rocket Boy.
I was talking Rocket Boy, but anyway, back to Pig, go ahead.
Xi Jinping he was born on June 15, 1953, the second son of Xi Jinping and his wife, Kui Shin. After
Shaniqua?
Pretty much. After the founding of the People's Republic of China in 1949 by Mao, we all know that name well.
Yeah,
Mao.
we know that name. Mao. Which is another douche.
By Mao Zedong, Xi's father, held a series of posts, including party propaganda chief, vice premier, and vice chairman of the National People's Congress. She had two older sisters, Konosha, born in 1949, and Anan, born later. So this guy's been around for a while, was what I'm getting at. This to compare him to North Korea, I think you would be wrong in doing so. This is old, dude. 53. He's like,
Well, I just meant there are a couple of hell-bent on dominating, willing to kill even their own people, rule-breaking, rule-making up scumbags. I just meant in that comparison. I didn't mean like they're the same people or look or talk the same or anything. I just meant there are a couple of, bent on domination and murderous pricks. Is all I was going with. Because it wasn't that long ago that the Un guy was making the same threats to us, talking about blowing us up. So it's like, because his daddy was doing the same thing just before that too. And so that's just the reason why I was making the comparison, that they were just like to make threats. Hopefully it's the same where they're kind of like empty threats. Maybe China won't actually do anything, but I definitely think that the Xi Jinping guys in China are worse, and I think that China actually is crazy enough to actually do something. That's just my conspiracy theory on that one.
so let's see here on July of this year, 2021, Beijing, China President Xi
Jinping. Oh, it's Xi. I always said Gigi.
I thought it was a shoo. Anyways, yeah, Jinping pledged on Thursday, July, to complete reunification, quote.
That's what I was talking about.
Are you seeing this quote now?
Yep.
Or on my thing? With self-ruled Taiwan, and vowed to smash any attempts at formal independence for the island, taking a tough line on the 100th birthday of the ruling Communist Party. China considers democratically ruled Taiwan its own territory, and under Xi has stepped up efforts
to assert its sovereignty claims.
What year was this? 2 years ago. 2 years ago, this motherfucker said he was going to do it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, he said he wanted
It's almost like he knew who would be president right now.
Yeah, I know that for sure. It's just like I guess our government? Someone released a statement earlier stating how that they won't be doing anything till at least 2025, most likely. That was our government that said that, which is a bunch of bullshit. I think they're going to do it before because they want to do it while Biden's in office. But the reason that our government stated that was because what happens in 25? It's after this administration's over.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So don't blame us. Don't worry. It's not going to happen on our watch. We don't have to worry about it. It's not going to happen until at least then, which I think is garbage. It's going to happen before then. This article, Jason, this is a good one right here. I'm seeing here, Jason. This is going to be in the description also. I'll add it.
Awesome.
Yeah. But yeah, Xi Jinping, you are a total douche. And you've been teabagged, my man. You are official teabag this week. But I guess that brings us to about all the time we got.
Man,
anything else you want to say, Jason?
I could go on for hours and hours about this, but we all got lives to live, and
That's right. So don't worry. We can get into some more things next week. Yeah, we can cover the same topics a little bit more. It don't matter to me. We'll figure it out. But all right, everybody. We thank you very much for tuning in. And until then, fact off, everyone.
hit that like and hit that bell. Thanks.
Like, subscribe, share, comment. Email us at scoopdad.leahy@gmail.com. Anything you want to talk about, and yeah, backed off.
Go ahead and say all of that wild shit online, man. You might need a Dr. Phil if you catch me outside. And I will not apologize if you ain't one of mine, fam. I cannot afford to give a fuck if it was finance.
Everything woke turns to shit.